Hey guys, welcome back to Guy Stuff. Today we're doing another one of my old-time favorite recipes, and this is actually a recreation of one of my favorite things from fast food days. Now, for those of you that are younger, you're not going to know what the heck I'm talking about. The Taco Bell Chilito. This is from the mid-'80s. I worked there as a summer job, and I was there, I think, during the best part of Taco Bell. I mean, they're good today, but they were awesome back then. You didn't have things... You don't have things today like the Chilito and the Taco Grande and the seafood salad and all kinds of weird stuff that people today have never heard of. But anyway, the Chilito, basically what it was a cheesy, spicy chili burrito. It was on a tortilla that was slightly smaller than the real, the big burrito Supreme. Today it's a little smaller than it used to be. But anyway, it was on a real thick one. And you would make it and then you would steam it. It was one of the first things Taco Bell had that used their steamer. And they were just awesome. So we're going to try to recreate it today. Now, I don't think you can really make a true Chilito at home because the things were so processed. They didn't use anything fresh except the onions, I think. But everything came prepackaged. You know, it was like the most Taco Bell stuff. For those of you that have never worked there, pretty much everything comes in a boil-in bag at Taco Bell. So we're going to make something that isn't exactly the same, but I think just as good. It's really delicious, makes enough for a large family serving size here for just a few bucks. Most expensive thing is the cheese and the beef. What you need is one big chopped up yellow or white onion. I don't usually buy them chopped like this. You pay twice as much to get them already chopped up, but this is just for convenience for the video. I usually do it myself. You need a pound of ground beef. I go through a lot here, so I got a bigger one. I'm only going to be using a third of this or so, but you want the normal ground beef, not ground chuck, nothing really lean. You need some fat in it for flavor. We're going to be draining the fat out, but it still affects the flavor of the beef. You know, use the lean if you really want to, but to get full flavor, in my opinion, just get the cheap regular ground beef. You need a pound of regular cheddar. You can use the sharp if you want to alter the taste a little bit, but Taco Bell doesn't use sharp, they use mild. So just a pound of this. You need a regular can of refried beans. We're going to be using probably a teaspoon or so of cayenne pepper just for a little kick. This is not a hot chili or anything. It's all for flavor. There's nothing that makes you cry about Taco Bell. We're going to be using a good portion of chili powder. I'm probably going to be using half this little bottle thing here. Maybe a quarter cup or so. We need a couple teaspoons of cornstarch just to thicken things up, and a small can of tomato paste. This makes the base of the actual chili sauce. And a teaspoon or so of salt and a couple cups of water, and that's also going to be for our sauce. It's a simple two-step process. Oh, the tortillas. What you want to get are the refrigerated soft tortillas, and the absolute biggest ones you can get. Now, I usually got these at Walmart, and they used to have at least big 12 or 14 inch size tortillas. These, I believe, they're at least 8. I think they're 10 inch. They're the super size. They're the biggest ones they have now. They'll do, but do yourselves a favor and get the biggest ones you can find in the store. It just makes it easier to roll up and stay good. So the first thing we're going to do is going to brown our beef, and then we're going to drain the fat out. Nothing special to that. And let's see, this is a 2 1/4 pound, so I'm going to use just less than half of this. Now when you brown your beef, you want to get it as finely separated as possible. I'm going to break this apart just a little bit and then come in with a fork and really chop it up. You don't want the big strains. It's not like a burger. We're not pressing this down. We want tiny, tiny little bits of brown beef. We'll get this heated up, get it browned, and then just drain the fat and set it aside. I'm going to let this go, and then we're going to start our sauce here too. It just combines at the end. It's really simple to make. Alright, I'm going to break that up. I'll get it browned, and we'll be back in a minute. Alright, our ground beef is browned, I can speak, and drained. Nice fine little pieces, just break it up with your fork. That's all you need to do there. So let's go ahead and make the sauce, the heart of the Chilito. Heat up your pan, put in your water. first thing we want to put in is our tomato paste, get this blending. Just make sure you've got all the tomato paste well mixed in there. Basically, it's like a thick tomato soup at this point. Now we're going to put in our spices. Got cayenne here. I'll put in a good teaspoon. Then our chili powder, about a quarter cup. That's going to be about half this, what I have left in here. For our cornstarch, you want to mix a little bit in water first. Just use a little bowl. We're just going to do 2 teaspoons of the cornstarch. Just dissolve it in the water before you add it into the mix so there's not any lumps. It's a thickening agent, so you want to do this ahead of time. You want it boiling, but you don't want it splattering, so watch your heat. Last are onions and our refried beans. Just mix everything real well. Break up the beans. Now for the cheese. The cheese just folded in. It'll take a little while to melt. And it's not called a Chilito for nothing. A lot of cheese. Alright, once you get the cheese folded in, we're going to let this heat. Take it down to medium-low. Just let the cheese melt and incorporate. Let the flavors come together. Then we're going to put the beef in, let it simmer for 10 or 15 minutes, and prep the tortillas and be ready to go. I almost forgot the salt. Good couple teaspoons is all you need. For this you want to use the fine, regular table salt, something that dissolves. Don't use the coarse salt for when we do the barbecue stuff. Alright, now we're going to let it go. Alright, our sauce is looking done. Cheese is nice and melted. You want to stir it every 30 seconds or so just to make sure it's not burning anything on the bottom. When it's all incorporated, we're ready to put in the beef. Just toss it in. Mix the beef in, and we're just going to let it go for another 10 minutes or so, stirring occasionally. Now to prep the tortillas, it's very simple. Take a few of them, 4 or 5, lay them out on a plate. We're just going to sprinkle them, each one a little bit with some water, just to get it damp. You especially need to do this if you're buying the dry kind that aren't in the refrigerated section. You can find these near the cheese or the cream cheese or the bagels sometimes. And we're just going to pop this stack into the microwave for 1 minute. Alright, our sauce is ready. It's been simmering for a good 10 minutes, nice and incorporated, piping hot. Tortillas just came out of the microwave. You can store them in the microwave until your sauce is done. They'll stay piping hot. This way they're really soft and pliable, and they won't tear when you try to roll them. So all we do to make these, Now, how much you put on is going to depend on, obviously, how big your tortilla is. The actual original Chilito, it was as big as this plate. So it was a 12 or 14. This looks like about a 10. So I'm going to put maybe a half a cup worth on here. And just spoon it right in the middle. Oh yeah, cheesy goodness. One more. Alright, that looks good. To roll them, super easy. Take one end, pull the mix to make it really tight into like a little tube. Yeah, I put too much in here. Should have done 3. And just fold one end a little bit more, roll it up. Bam, ready to go. Next. Ooh, that's hot. Alright, so there you go. Awesome, awesome chili cheese burrito, also called the Chilito. Thanks for watching, guys stuff, and we'll see you next time.